to take us through the 2 games so far.
Absolutely, and yes, Krepo, as I just asked, what do you think it is the biggest difference going from Game 1 into Game 2 and seeing Fnatic really crumble and CLG rise?
Well, definitely composition. Like first game, Fnatic got something they were obviously very comfortable with. Let's face it, that double poke comp, they ran it so well. They didn't have any issues. The game flow was fine. Even Pekka dying a few times early didn't really matter for him. It all went really well. But then the second game, CLG, I like the way they fought back into the game. You know, once you lose really hard the first game, sometimes your mental agility might be broken, but they just bounce back. We'll have to see if Fnatic can have the same attitude coming into Game 3 and see what happens. There's so many differences between Game 1 and between Game 2, especially if we look at Trix. You know, he got denied his Elise first game and didn't really have an impact in the first game at all. But then the second game, they gave him Shyvana, which is arguably one of the strongest champions around now. So let's see if they can. I think if Fnatic focuses on Trix again, they might prove another chink in the armor of CLG.
Do you feel like people said, and Fnatic said himself, oh, we're out of practice, and then they pulled out that special comp and it kind of, you know, was a camouflage for the fact that they maybe were out of practice? And do you think they have another trick up their sleeve and that they can't do it with standard play, or?
I'm not sure, but like whether Fnatic would have said we were out of practice, really practice, super practice well, nobody would have expected a karma pick anyways. CLG respected it, and I believe they banned it out even as well to prevent Fnatic from playing double poke again. So CLG was playing very reactive. Okay, they dropped map 1, but they learned from it, and they learned. Hopefully Fnatic can learn from map 2 right now, so to get better bans and picks going in Game 3. Another thing we have to point out is Aframu showing that presence in the bot lane with Leona against Annie. I'm really happy to see that, because we've seen the rise of Annie support coming out. So many people playing her claiming it's the strongest support, but I've always felt Annie was counterable with Leona, providing he's played by a great player, and Avram played her so well. Even had a discussion with Miffy earlier today about the same topic. He's like, no man, like my Annie beats your Leona easy, I will take you on any time. And I'm like, no, well, Leona will beat you anyways. So very heated debate. Whether she's a counter or not, we can't say, but Aframood definitely did his job as Leona to create enough offensive pressure, and it just allowed double lift as well to snowball throughout the entire game.
Yeah, great performance in double lift in Game 2, great performance from Rex in Game 1, and we see them both.
He didn't die Game 2.
He didn't die Game 2, and we have, you know, we always give a lot of attention to them, and so they deserve it. But Link on Ziggs, that was just a stellar performance.
Yeah, definitely seems to be really comfortable against Orianna with Zig, and it's been told by a lot of players that they like playing the Ziggs matchup into Orianna. Peke, I'm not sure. Not always as great on Orianna. He seems to be doing better with other champions. Maybe he dropped the ball, literally and figuratively there with Orianna. But maybe next game it all goes better, you know, just maybe has a bad game. I can't tell. I don't know what Fnatic has been practicing. We'll have to see.
Right. Finally, maybe, what do you think for that bottom lane will be the preferred picks for them?
Avram was showing he has Leona up his sleeves. Might lead to Leona being a contested pick, because we all know Yellowstar plays her really well as well. Maybe like a sick lane swap coming out, punishing the weaknesses of the Leona as well. Just adds another variable into play. I hope CLG strays away from the Jinx pick. Hasn't really worked against Fnatic that well in the first game. Lucian definitely worked, so we'll see probably Leona up for grabs. Lucian being contested. I hope Shyvana doesn't get through too easily either. But then again, you only have 3 bans. What are you going to ban?
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for your insights, Krepo. We're going to go over to a short break right now, but when we come back, it's going to be Game 3 between NA and EU.